Hi, Scott. ROCKFILE back with another podcast review for you. Let's talk about the 2024 film Heretic. Boy, this was at the top of my list of movies I wanted to see last year, of the ones that I hadn't seen by the end of the year. Just got my A24 shop exclusive 4K disc of it. Wow, what a great movie. Scott Beck and Brian Woods wrote and directed this. They also co-wrote A Quiet Place. They worked on Haunt. They've worked on several great movies, and man, they knocked this out of the park. If you don't know, you need to go into this movie as blind as possible. It's about two Mormon missionaries who knock on the wrong door, basically. They knock on the door of Hugh Grant, and he invites them in for conversation, and it gets a little more spirited than you think. I really tried to avoid anything about this movie. I didn't watch reviews, whatever. I knew it was on my list of things to see. Did not play here very long, if at all. So I pre-ordered it from A24, and it just arrived. I immediately watched it that night. I just had been dying to see this movie. I like Hugh Grant. I like the writers and directors. I like what the movie is about. So that's it in a nutshell. The movie's been praised not only for the acting, the screenplay, but the fact that it actually handles Mormonism and the missionary stuff very well. It is almost sympathetic to that. The Mormon Church has even come out and said this is an actual fairly accurate, portrayal. That the two girls do a good job. Both are ex-Mormons, as it turns out. Both did a lot of reading up on the subject, even though they were familiar with it. So there is an inherent realism to it. It's a lot of conversations, and I don't mean to make it sound boring, because it's definitely not. But the first half of this hour and 50-minute long movie is mostly conversations before things start turning really sinister, so to speak. And I won't give anything away, because I really think you need to see this as cold as possible, not knowing anything about it. The acting is top-notch all the way around. Everybody's been nominated for a bunch of awards, as has the screenplay, the directing. The cinematography is fantastic. They brought in a really great cinematographer. I can't say that the 4K will blow you away, but it looks like a beautiful film. Warm colors, warm, just saturated, deep, dark greens and blues and deep reds and things. It's just, everything feels like a warm, almost fairy tale look. Not loud and garish, just very real, warm, homey kind of feeling. All the colors of the designs of the walls of the house and the furniture and the clothing and everything. Everything just really pops on the 4K in a very naturalistic, very movie-like way. The 4K also has a Dolby Atmos surround sound mix, and that also will not blow you away, but does have some great ambient effects, make you feel like you're in enclosed spaces. That was probably the best thing about it. There are some things that happen over your head, like a storm and things like that. But like I said, this is not a $100 million special effects filled movie. This is a $10 million, mostly talky movie. And I thought the Atmos was great. 4K also has a couple of extras on it. It's got a commentary with the writers, directors, the two guys. I will watch it with that at some point, because I really want to know more. And there's one 15-minute documentary on the behind the scenes, which don't watch until it's over. The package, the Digipack, also comes with some postcards, some fairly big cards that are all taken from the production of the movie on one side. I would recommend not looking at those either, because they're spoilers for the movie. So watch the movie first and then go through the things. And then if you flip those cards over, it makes one of the board games that are talked about in the movie. This is a really intelligent movie. It's not all conversations, but it mostly is. But if you're thrilled by like really good dialogue, really interesting conversations, and plot twists you don't see coming, this is that kind of movie. There is some kind of dark, scary, we're trapped in a house kind of stuff, but that's really on the side of what is a fairly intelligent and interesting, spirited conversation on religion. As he puts these girls through their paces and tests their beliefs and that kind of thing, maybe they start testing his. Anyway, to talk any more about the movie would give things away. Just know that everything I've told you about it does end on a very interesting note. It's well written from beginning to end, acted from beginning to end. There isn't too much horror stuff. It is rated R, more for language. There's a couple of things that are slightly gory. If you don't want to see somebody get stabbed, that's about almost the worst of it. Like I said, I don't this is going to wind up on my list. I'm finally going to publish my list of the best movies of 2024 because this was one of the last ones I had to see. And I would highly recommend getting this on the 4K. The Blu-ray is available everywhere. I saw them in my Walmart. And if you don't have a 4K system, get the Blu-ray then, because it looks great and sounds great. But if you do have the system, get the 4K. It's just that much crisper, cleaner, more colorful, and that Atmos mix is great. I don't know if the Atmos mix is on the Blu-ray or not. Like I said, there's only the one extra, and all in all, I give it 2 thumbs up and one of my favorite movies of the year. Not number 1, but definitely in the top 10, and will be at the end of the year. Check out Heretic. Maybe we'll do a spoiler podcast and talk about some of the themes they talk about in the movie at some point going forward. That would be probably better in a live type situation, which I'm going to do more of that this year as well. Thanks for listening to a podcast. I hope you have a spectacular day, and I highly recommend Heretic.